going on, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of Dauntless Outdoors. Today's episode, we're diving out of Tarpon Springs, Florida. The goal of today's episode is to shoot a bunch of gags, grouper, pretty much anything. We're on another commercial trip. Also a lot of AJs. Those sell for a pretty good price, so I'll catch you guys in the water. What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to another episode. So this here is my first dive, headed down to the bottom. As you can tell, a ton of AJs swimming around. I threw a flasher down and I followed it down a little bit, grabbed it, and I didn't really see anything, but as soon as I got close to the bottom, a ton of AJs. If I didn't see anything nice on this dive, I was just going to take a shot on one of those guys. But as you can see, spotted a pretty nice hogfish. This is supposed to be a wreck that we're diving. Bottom's about 80 feet here. And follow him until he gave me a good shot. Took the shot and knew it was a holding shot, but I didn't have time to go down there and grab him. This was really my first dive, and I was still warming up. So ended up landing a pretty nice hogfish right there. But got my first fish and kept on diving. So now we're still at the same spot. This is probably like my 7th or 8th dive, something like that. I had already done a few more bottom dives, and I wasn't really seeing much going on. So I decided I was just going to take a shot on an AJ here and head on back to the boat. As you can tell, a ton of them, a bunch of nice legal ones, and then there was a few big ones throughout the school. That one right there was pretty big, but I spotted a little bit bigger one. He was right there. He was in the back of the school. Took a shot. Kind of thought I stoned him there, so I didn't really pull on him and go up as soon as I could, but definitely should have gave him that extra however many feet of line, and he got wrapped up on the bottom, but pulling, he just came off, so got pretty lucky there and ended up landing him. Pretty nice AJ. It was my first of the day, and I think he was about 50-60 pounds, so not bad. So after that, we moved spots, and now we're, I think, in 80 feet of water still, but it's a little bit of a different area. We're going up under this barge here. It's a big, probably 200-foot long barge. It's flipped upside down, and I had only dove this once before, but even once you've dove it once, you know what the deal is on the wreck. So head on down to the bottom. I knew there was probably going to be some gags up under here, so I'm taking my time, looking around, making sure to keep my head on a swivel but not move too fast to spook them. But I spotted a really nice one here on the outside. He was swimming in. He was real slow, so knew he'd give me a good shot. Waited till I got that perfect shot and just completely stoned him, as you saw right there. I knew if I didn't land a good shot, he was going to get all stuck, and as you can tell, there's some big Goliath grouper swimming around. On pretty much any wreck in Florida on our coast, there's going to be Goliaths, so it's really important I got that fish out on one dive. So ended up landing my nice gag, first one of the day. Not bad. So now we're still diving on the same wreck, and the guy that took us out, his name's Mirco. He shot an AJ with the power head, and it unfortunately didn't go through enough for that fish to stay on. And as you can tell, he just ripped off. So I'm going down to try and land the same fish. I did a half of a breathe up and went down. So that's why I didn't get much closer and take a real good shot, but it's a good enough shot to where it's a holding one, and I can just pull that fish up. I didn't want to fight him too hard, so I kind of let him swim, but I didn't want him to go up in that wreck, so I pulled on him just enough to keep him out of there. So kept going up and landed that fish. I mean, it's the same old fight, so I didn't really include it, but got back down to the bottom here. I was told there were some AJs on the upcurrent side, so I'm laying here looking up in the water column, looking around for him, and look over here, and I don't know if you can see it, but there was a very nice dog snapper on the top of that wreck. So now you can tell I'm in that grunting, looking around, hoping he pops up out of a different hole. And unfortunately, I didn't see him. I had never seen one of these guys before, especially not on this coast, and I was really hyped up hoping to get this fish. But unfortunately, as I'm sitting here, I just didn't have enough time to see him. So head on up to the surface and get a new breath. But now I'm headed back down to the bottom. I told Mirco, hey, I'm going to take one more dive. I spotted a very nice dog snapper, and I want to get a shot on him. So, headed back down to the bottom, and as soon as I get back, he's just on top of the wreck still, which was very surprising to me. Did a couple grunts, he turns, textbook shot right here. Turns, completely stone him. Swim over there, make sure he doesn't somehow end up going down in that hole. Look in there to see if there's anything else going on, and there wasn't anything else. So, grab that fish and head on up to the surface. Very impressive fish to me to catch on this coast, so my first one.
Not as big as I thought he was,
Oh,
but
you got him.
I drilled him.
That fish ended up being 9.1 pounds gutted, so we decided it was time to go in. We weren't seeing much else going on that wreck, so now we're in about 55 feet here. As you can tell, pretty nice hogfish right there. Not a giant or anything, but I knew I'd take a shot on him if I had nothing else going on. So get down to the bottom. This was my very first dive on this spot. I'm looking around hoping to see some gags or anything like that, because they're worth a little bit more just because of how big they are, but I wasn't seeing anything else. So I decided I was going to take a shot on this guy, and I'd already been down here for a while. Not the longest dive, but I thought I could get a very good shot right there. Took it and somehow missed. I'm not exactly sure what happened there, but completely missed, and of course the hogfish comes right back and it's just like, what's going on there? But miss him and head on up to the surface. Got up there and I told the guy I was diving with there wasn't a hog. He went down and shot it, so it wasn't a big deal. But now I'm in a different spot. This is a huge, wide area. It all looks the same, but it's about, I would say, 100 square yard area that looks just like this, and there was a bunch of fish on it, but the issue was trying to find some big group or anything like that. So throw a flasher way up current, let it sink, and go down, hoping to see something. And as you see, there's two gags right there that I somehow brought in with all that commotion that I was doing, swimming around looking for some fish, and neither of them were really legal, or if they were barely. And then as I was going to head up, spotted this pretty nice hogfish, took that shot and completely missed. I didn't really know what happened there. Same deal, kind of a quartering away, long shot, and just completely missed. But now I'm headed back down, hoping to see a gag. This is towards the end of the day. It's getting dark, it's getting cold, and just wanted to get a nice shot on one of these guys. And I'd already shot a gag at this spot, but unfortunately my GoPro didn't actually record it. Pressed the button, but it just wouldn't work. Sometimes the Hero 8s don't like to record when you press it, but oh well. But now I'm on the bottom, doing that same old espeto technique. Laying there, shot at a gag, really long shot. Couldn't get much closer because he was very skittish. And as you can tell, completely whiffed. And this was my last dive of the day. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you haven't already, hit that like button, subscribe, and we'll catch you in the next one.